Today we're in the kitchen and I'm sharing with you how I make my natural cleaners. When I made my Amazon 10 must-haves video, one of the things I shared was these glass containers that I use to make my natural cleaners. And several of you asked me to make a video on how I make my natural cleaners. So that's what we're doing today. And if you like this video, please do like it, subscribe, and share it. For a long time, we cleaned with natural cleaners. My own grandmother would clean with salt, vinegar, lemon juice, that type of thing. And her house was very clean. It wasn't until the 50s or the 60s, around that time, that we started using cleaners that we bought from the store. And a lot of that had to do with television and people advertising to us that our houses weren't really clean and we needed whatever product they were selling so that our house would be clean enough, you know, for the neighbors in the world, and we wouldn't be good people if we kept cleaning the old-fashioned way. But of course, none of that was true. It's healthier to have natural cleaners, and especially, you know, in your kitchen, around your food, I think it's just better to have natural cleaners. So it's also a question of what you're breathing and what you're just including into the environment. It's relatively easy to do. These are easy cleaners to make, and they require pretty few ingredients. And once you have them, everything you can get pretty much either on Amazon or at a drugstore or a grocery store. And you use some of the same products for the different cleaners. So it's very inexpensive to make these, and it's pretty easy to do. What I do is I have this basket here that I just keep everything in that I use to make my cleaners. And I just put it in the cupboard, my utility cupboard, where I keep my other cleaning things and candles, that kind of thing. And it just stays in there, and then when I'm ready to make my cleaners, I pull it out. I will list the recipes below and everything that you need to make them. When I can find it, I'll give you links to everything. In addition to the ingredients for the cleaners, you'll need a measuring cup. Usually, you know, a 2-cup or a 1-cup measuring cup. You will need measuring spoons. You'll need a funnel, and you'll need these glass containers. Now, you don't have to use glass containers. I'm sure you could use plastic. What I like about the glass containers is they won't interact with anything because it's glass. And I like to have the amber glass or the colored glass because a lot of these ingredients are affected by light. It's better if they are not subjected to light, so the amber helps with that. And then when I am not using the cleaners, I do keep them in the cupboard, and then I just pull them out when I need them. It wouldn't be terrible if you wanted to leave them out. Just don't put them in the direct sun, and make sure that you have a dark glass bottle to do that. I use these 32-ounce containers and these 16-ounce containers. It just depends on how much you clean and how much you need. I use this one for my granite countertop cleaner because that's what I use the most to clean. And then for my glass cleaner and my all-purpose cleaner, I just use these smaller jars because I don't use them that often. If you do, you can make everything in the bigger jars. I should also say that it's helpful to have a chopstick, and I just save one. You know, when they deliver Chinese food or whatever, they usually give you extra. These are pretty easy to find, but what it does is it helps to kind of get stuff to go down the funnel, I have found. So I keep this on hand as well. Let's start with the granite cleaner. And you can use this cleaner for your kitchen countertops, whether it's granite or not. For this recipe, you will need hot water, rubbing alcohol, glycerin, a natural dish soap, and then some sort of oil, some sort of essential oil. What you don't want here is you don't want anything that has citrus in it, because citrus is not good for your granite countertops. I usually do either, I do one or the other, either jasmine or lavender oil. So let's see, for today, we'll do jasmine. So you just put your funnel in your jar, and I like to start with the glycerin and the dish soaps. The water and the alcohol will help wash all of that down into the jar from the funnel. So I usually start there. We're starting with 1 teaspoon of glycerin. Just a couple of drops of the dish soap is all it takes. And the dish soap, you don't really have to use it. It does help a little bit though. And now we have 2 cups of warm water. And I just get this water right out of the sink. Oh, this thing always drips. So there's that. And then just 20 drops of essential oil. And again, you can use any essential oil you want. You just want to make sure that it doesn't have any citrus. So today I'm using jasmine. I just sort of drop it right down the center. One of the nice things about these bottles is, in addition to the spray bottle, you get just a normal cap. And I put that normal cap on it to shake it up. You just want to give it a good shake for a while. I shake it this way to protect my wrists. I mean, you can do this, but I find that it's just easier to do it this way because you do want to shake it for a little while. You want to get it good and combined. All right, that should do it. So now we take the lid off. I always smell it. I love the way that it smells. And put this on. You just screw that on. And that is granite cleaner ready to go, one down. Now let's make the glass cleaner. For the glass cleaner, you will need 3/4 cup of hot water, a 1/2 cup of white vinegar, 1/4 cup of rubbing alcohol, and 1½ teaspoons of cornstarch. Then you'll need 10 drops of essential oil, and this is the time to break out your citrus oils. And you can do 10 drops all of the same, or you can blend them. Today, I think I will do lime and grapefruit. Grapefruit lime sounds like a good combination to me today. In goes our funnel, and I will start with the cornstarch. We need 1½ teaspoons of cornstarch. This is a 1/2 teaspoon measuring. So there we go, 1½ teaspoons of cornstarch. And this is where your little chopstick will come in handy. Next we have 3/4 cup of hot water, 1/2 cup of white vinegar, and 1/4 cup of rubbing alcohol. Okay, and I'm gonna do 5 drops each of my grapefruit and lime. And that's it. We just put our lid on and get to shaking. All right, that should do it. So we take that off. Give it a smell. Oh, I like that. I like the grapefruit lime a lot. If you have a label on the front, just make sure that your sprayer is pointed the way that you want. Then hold the sprayer while you twist the lid, and then it'll be exactly the way that you want it to be. And if you need to adjust, just unscrew it a little bit and turn it, and there you go. There's our glass cleaner. Next up, we have our all-purpose cleaner. And I use the all-purpose cleaner for things like cleaning up around the bathroom, cleaning up the my closets, you know, when I switch my closets every month. Just those general all-purpose kind of cleaning things that you need. It's a great all-around cleaner. For the all-purpose cleaner, here's what we need. 1½ cups of warm water, 1½ teaspoons of baking soda, 1½ teaspoons of borax, and a 1/2 teaspoon of glycerin. Some people don't like the borax. They don't consider it to be a natural cleaner. I will tell you that in the 30s and the 40s, my grandparents and great-grandparents used it, and one of the things they used it as was a natural way to get rid of pests. They put it in the corners of the kitchen because bugs didn't like it, but it was a natural thing. So it just depends on how you feel about borax. I do like it, and I think it's a good additive to clean the bathrooms and, you know, just for your all-purpose cleaning needs. I'm starting with 1½ teaspoons of baking soda. And then we need 1/2 teaspoon of glycerin, 1½ teaspoons of borax. The borax can get a little tricky here. There we go. So we have our baking soda, our borax, and our glycerin in here. We just need to follow that up with 1½ cups of warm water. The final touch is 10 drops of essential oil. I'm going to start with 5 drops of cinnamon, and then a citrus, and today I'm using sweet orange, 5 drops. That's it. We'll put the lid on and shake it up. It's kind of like a bartender, but not nearly as cool. Also notice this, one of the things that I like about these particular glass bottles is that this hose is very long. You can see how long it is. So I'm always able to get all of my cleaner out of it to the very last drop. There's our all-purpose cleaner. So there we have it, the granite cleaner, the glass cleaner, and the all-purpose cleaner, and I am ready to go. Every time when I use these, I just get in the habit of shaking it up and then I use it. That's all you really need to do. And I'm not even sure you need to do it, but I think you should probably just shake it up and start using it. If you liked this, please do like like it, subscribe, and share it. And I would love to hear from you. What do you think about making your own cleaners? Have you always made your own cleaners? Have you never made your own cleaners? Have you thought about doing it? And are you going to try now? I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. I'm challenging myself to upload videos every single day for the year of 2019, so I would love for you to be here and join me. I'll see you tomorrow.